Yeah, Dusk Mask, what's going on, dude? Can you hear me? I forgot my mask half the time when I'm turning. Yeah, dude. I just finished up a scratched podcast recording, and I decided to do these letters, make a little game room sign. So what the heck, you know? But I'm realizing that I don't have that little piece that blows, the dust, and I gotta blow it like that, unfortunately. So yeah, let me finish this thing here, this G. So yeah, I decided to go and do a late night. Yeah, I want to do all these signs, little signs, um, and get some pushed out. I don't think I could scroll a curve with the flat blade. Yeah, um, I got it done, but my eyes, dude. I've got that magnifying Harbor Freight one, the magnifying glass with light. That would help. But I don't know. Right where I'm sitting right now, I've got a. Hey, it's Reaper. What's going on, Reapers? Um, so right, what was I going to say? Basically, the light would help. Where I'm sitting right now, I'm kind of low to it. It'd be better if I had like a cushion under me and raised it. So that's something I got to take care of. Reaper says, Nada, just about to hit the sack and saw you go live. Yeah, dude, I'm just doing a sign. I'm going to do the letters and then I'll figure out if it's going to be a simple sign or if it's going to be something other. I don't know. Probably a simple sign. I'm going to try to dish out simple little vintagey wall hanging type signs. I want to do that apart from the other stuff I'm doing. Um, I broke my bandsaw blade 2 days ago. Um, Harneil says, "Yep, I have one and it helps me." Yeah, the light with the magnifying, it's great. What's going on, Ozzy? Can't sleep, Eloy? I'm kind of a late sleeper myself, but if I concentrate on this a bit, it'll it'll slowly, you know, knock me into sleep mode. But I'm doing this these letters. I'm gonna do some signs. I've got some signs that I've been doing, and that's what I'm messing with right now. Let me finish this G cut. So there's my G. Get rid of all this tape. I got to clean up the fibers here a little bit. But there's the G. And I'll finish these off. Ran into some trouble here with the A. Ran into a little bit of trouble here with the A. Gotta fix that. I'll come in this direction. Um, Reaper, I'm going to bed. Have fun. Eloy, you're a hell of an inspiration. Keep it up, brother. Thanks, dude. This is MDF. So this is MDF. Keeping it budget friendly so I can just put stuff out there. I've got a lot of different pieces that I have to do, but this, under the category of wall art, do multiple types of wall art. So that's the idea, with these. Here's the A. I just got to cut the inside out. Now, perfect, they're not like on the inside, but that's fine. We're not a CNC machine. Now, I should tape this up, and in fact, that's what I'm going to do, tape this up. Just simply so that so I can cut that inside. So, I've got at least that little part in there. What's going on, KS? We're just cutting out a sign, doing scroll saw, little signs, wall art, and such. So this is like a game room. I'm just going to cut out, I have to cut this in half, this piece in half, because I have to get to the inside. I could drill a hole in this and that, which is probably a good idea, but I'm not going to do that. I've got 50 pieces cut, and I'll have to reglue them together. I'll just cut little pieces. So here's the two pieces, and we'll just have to reglue them so that we have our A back on track. Right, we've got our G and our A. So that's the crappy part about these smaller inside bits. You could drill a hole and work inside it, but I'm opting to do that because these are pinned blades, and just getting it, you have to drill a hole big enough for stuff to fit in there, for the blade to go through. And that's just a pain in the butt. This M here is kind of a funky, this is kind of like Western letters, I would assume. And they're kind of funky. I like this kind of letter. And then what the sign will probably end up being is the letters in white and the background black, simple sign, and sawtooth in the back. And that's probably what's going to end up, it's going to end up being. No pressure. What's going on, dude? Your Midland is rotating. There's a lot of vibration going on, dude. Let's see. KSF must be some vibration from the saw. It's totally vibration from this guy. He bounces like crazy. My part-time girlfriend would love to sit on a bench like that, low. Aussie, low, I didn't notice that. Now these letters are pretty small, and I've got this M here. So, and by the way, I don't know if it looks lit up very much around here. It is, but I need something closer for my eyes, and I've got this deal to work out, and this is kind of problematic. You see what I'm saying? How it goes up into that area. This is kind of like a little, because it's so tiny. So I'm gonna probably, I don't know, I'm gonna probably go the straight shot. You see that straight line right there on this side, on the inside? I'll do the straight, and then I'll come back and do the curve. I think that's what I'm gonna try and do, just to keep it safe. I could see the curve, but if I cut out the curve first, I might not be able to see the straight. So we'll figure that out. Let's try that. This is very difficult for me to judge with my eyes. I think I've got to do more to that. Yeah, I got to do more, but I'm really having trouble seeing. So, like right about here, the curve should start. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out more or less the inside because I can't see. Honestly, I need to get that light. I'll cut out the inside and then just work the outside. Then I'll come back and just touch it up. It's one letter within the thing, but we want it to come out, and I need more. I need to cut more of an angle on that. So I'll do it like that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll cut the straight, the curved one first, and then the straight. I think that that'll help. So that's a tight M. Um, it's about there. It could suffer a slight sort of rework. I'm gonna do that now. I think that's as far as we can hope for. Um, this one, this A, I need to glue together again. So that's what we have so far. Altogether, it's not looking bad at all. Plus, once you paint it and maybe do the sides with a black to give it like depth, like it's sticking out. But when you're working like this, it's like you're always focused on the detail, which is good, but that's working out. So the G, we got the A in two pieces. We got to glue back up, and our M. This E is kind of they're all funky because it's kind of like that Western sort of look, arcade, whatnot. Um, but I really like these old letters, especially on signs and whatnot. They're very cool. And all I did was print out and then a sheet and paste it, tape it to the board, and I'm just working it out. Let me cut this. Let me see if there's a way to position it so that when I'm working here, can you guys see that fine? I'm not sure if you could, when I'm working here, because my hands get on top and maybe you're not seeing the actual cut. Not sure. Okay. Well, let me know. I'm going to cut in right through here. I'm going to cut right in. I'm going to go up. And although it's not a complete radius, it's actually a sharp, 90. I'm still going to radius it, go up around and out, and then I'll cut that little piece out. Right? And then I'll do the same. Thank you, Ozzy. Then I'll do the same for this piece here. I'll go straight and then go in. Or actually, I think I'll come in through here and come out. Right? And then all I got to do is this and come back out, and then I'll have my E. But I'm always doing the inside because once you sever the E from the bigger piece, you have no tape sticking to it. So you're going to be, in a bind in that situation. So once I can get into the insides, I'll be able to cut that out, which I'm going to do now. Then I'll sever it from the rest of the board. Right now with these, the R's, it has an inside cut, and I could probably drill into that and just cut the inside, drill and then feed. But I'm not going to do that with these signs. It's quicker for me to just cut the letters in half, reglue them, and then move forward. So I've got the O with that inside and another O with that inside. Then we have another M, which we learned that this inside cut, or not inside cut, but this very thin cut, it's a very difficult cut. And I have a few disadvantages. One, I'm using a straight blade. Two, my eyes are like shot, and I'm sitting a little bit more below the table than I should be. And then I need some lighting, although it looks good lighting. I need some lighting that's closer to me here. So I got to figure that out. But I'm using up all my outlets for other stuff. I've got to figure that out. So let's finish this E here. I decided to turn around. I went in straight, turn around, and open up space because what I want to do now is go in straight up and go around. That's what I want to do because I just want to get that curve without getting into trouble. So now I got that space in here where the blade, the back end, won't have an issue. I hope. That works out good. So, not bad. We just got to take care of business around here, and I think this could be cleaned up a little bit better. But it's not that big of a deal. Actually, it is. We'll take care of that. And there we are. We've got the E. So we got first word, game. And we got to figure room. I bought this scroll saw at Harbor Freight on 8th Street, Southwest 8th Street here in Miami. Um, it's a Harbor Freight central machinery. And let me see what you guys are saying. My chat popped up again. Let me see. Eli's got game. Thanks, dude. Use a large drill bit and you won't even have to worry about cutting the inside of the R. Well, the thing is, these aren't necessarily just a circle. There's a little bit of, it's not a full circle. So, you know, I've done that before when it's, such a, but yeah. So parting it, you know, seems to me, yeah, you have to glue it back up, but it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes you can't do that, but in this type of situation, I don't know. I just find it a little bit more comfortable. Um, KSF, will it be if you? It will be if you use the drill bit low. Well, that's right, and no one would know the difference, right? So I bought this at the Harbor Freight here in Miami on 8th Street. Ozzy knows about that one probably, because there's one there and then there's one in Kendall. But when I bought this, this was like open package. Or the guy said, "There's one back there. Would you like it?" Well, they dropped it for $40, dude. I got this for $40, believe it or not. And it's such a great tool. Truly, it has paid for itself. Every time I put something up, sell something, signs and stuff, and I've done little what you call cake toppers and whatnot, and just over and over again. This simple machine has, and it's a small thing, and it actually it's been good. Been good for me. Hey, Katie. So we've got our R. Now we just need to get that out. So I'll come in, and boy, this one's a difficult one because I've got such little material here to work with, right? It's almost like I should drill it out. Because look, if I try to paste it back like this A, there's material there so that the two will connect, right? But this R has such a skimpy little leg to it. If I come in here, well, I'm just going to come in here and come out through here. That's what I'm going to do. Got no choice. Not the end of the world. Well, as long as Ozzy don't snore, let him sleep. Oh, I got to read what's up. I think Ozzy fell asleep. You might have to nudge him in the ribs, Katie. All right, let's try this R. And again, the issue is, of course, there's such little material, but I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to come out on this side of the leg, and then I'll just scoop out the inside. That's what we're going to do. Wish me luck on this. You know what? I'm going to take this because it's such a small piece. It's such a small piece, and I'm kind of worried about it. I'm a little worried about it, so I don't want to. Hey, good night, dude. Be good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to keep the digits. Luckily, the scroll saw is not. Well, let's not jinx it. Now, here's an interesting. Here's an interesting thing. I actually went around. I decided to go around, um, and I could just. Let me see. Let's remove this. I could just glue that part, but it's acting like a clamp now with a spring action. I'll show you. I think you know exactly what I mean. I'm just removing all this tape that we're not going to need after the fact. So I came in and went around. I could glue it, but that's going to be a lot of pressure on this piece. So I might not want to do that. Um, I might not want to do that. It turned out looking round anyhow. Hey, look, Ozzy's back. Um, yeah, we're just going to cut it in half and reglue it because it'll end up being better that way, even though I could get away with this. All right, so I have my two pieces. And united, we have our R, which now we're not going to have that pressure point if we were to have left it that way. So I'm good with that. So we got the R of room. So this is a nice tool. Do you guys all have scroll saws? I really like this tool, especially because you can make signs and different decor wall art shapes and whatnot. So this is a very fun tool. That lathe right over there is loads of fun, but it sure does create a mess. And the job that so I've been doing boxes with them, and that does take a little bit more of attention because you have to hog out the inside, the shape, make sure things, top lid, box fits. It's quite. You could do simple things on it, as you guys know, but it's more involved. Whereas this, I don't know. It's you do your stencil or whatever you're gonna do, and then you go for broke. It's a fun tool, and you can get some good results. There's some painting if you have to do stuff like this, but you know, I'll show you a finished product. Here's a sign, right? So cool stuff like that. And we're kind of going to do the same thing with this gaming sign, game room sign, but it's going to be black, the background, the back of it, and the letters will be in white. I think that's the case. We got one road guys. It's going to be tasteless, but they cut out the inside. So we can decide to put the other O out. So we can use the O. We got our other O. Okay. So we'll tape this. I get all my scotch tape or my packing tape at the dollar store for this kind of thing. And I use it a lot. Add the tape just to hold the template so we could cut inside, right? And we'll do the same for this one here. Okay, so we've got the secured as well as this one. Now this one has some funkiness here, this O, but these two go together like that. So that's fine. I could round it with a sander, but we'll see. As long as the main thing is cut out, we could deal with all that after the fact. So I'm going to go in through the top here. I'm going to straddle all around and then boom. Although I should come in, cut, and exit, and then cut the other side. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in, straddle the edge, come out, and then I'll cut the inside that's left. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then both pieces come together again with a little dab of glue on both ends. Let it sit to dry, and I've got myself my O for the room. That's what I'm going to do. So let's cut that out. Okay. Let's see. There might be some issue, I don't know. Well, there's our O. A little bit of a peak here, but really, it's not a thing at all. I could always do a little rasp there to round it off. But in the context of the whole sign, for instance, all that, we don't have really anything to complain about. You know, in the context of the whole sign. Let me see what you guys are saying. See what you guys are saying here. So, so KS says, I have one, Skill Brand, new in box, haven't opened the box, had it almost a year. You know, it depends on what you're interested in and focused on at the time, but it's a neat thing. I've been here chatting with you guys and doing this, um, and I've managed to do a little game sign or game room sign. I do need the backer board, right? So I'll probably use a table saw to cut out a backer board, paint it, paint these. Once these are glued, like the A and the R and the O's and all that, paint them, glue them onto the board, add some hardware, and make a nice little sign, and then you have a nice little sign, you know, done. And the idea is I'm gonna do many of these things, but it's such a cool thing to do, right? So that's the cool thing about that. The Harbor Freight, where is it? Over here, bandsaw, the benchtop one. My blade broke this weekend, but I would be doing this on that as much as I could. But this is way safer of a tool, and it is fun. I mean, it goes a little bit slower than that because that one you go and you're good. With this, it's a little bit more, but you can do tight turns and all that. This is a great tool. So it is fun. It just depends on, I mean, are we into this at the moment and whatnot. Um, Ozzy says, sometimes I wish I had a scroll saw. On some jobs, my bandsaw can be a pain for the small stuff. Yep. I wish I had a bandsaw, says KS. Some stuff is just a pain to cut with a jigsaw. um, Tom says, try putting a pilot hole in the center so you can thread the blade through. Yeah, Tom, I was mentioning earlier that my my method is to cut these in half. Um, I don't always do it this way, but I cut these in like the A, for instance. I'll cut them in half and then I'll rejoin them, right? Because frankly, this is a pinned. So things like that, you're never gonna with a pinned blade. You're never gonna get a cut like that feeding it in. I mean, you drill the hole, it's too small. It's just too small of an inside cut. The O's are definitely doable, right? But if I'm gonna go and cut that out in this fashion, what I end up doing is just cutting them all and then re-gluing them together, and it's a done deal. So this is just an easy way around. There's no necessarily no right or wrong way. I mean, that could be argued, but um, yeah, I'm doing it that way because it's a pain in the butt. I mentioned in my vision is it's really tough. Although you see lighting here, I need a fixed light on this so I could focus better. But this method here's the R will do me just as good, right? So this is just an option that one can use. But the traditional thing is to drill in and be able to feed those in, and you have yourself your inside cuts. Let me see here. Um, Aussie, a bandsaw is definitely worth it if your room is a large one. If you have room for one, I think that's what he's saying. Katie Dotson says, really, Tom, I have a Dremel with the stand that I use to drill holes for scroll saw projects. That's a great idea. Using a Dremel is a great idea. I love my Dremel. Um, I don't think he wants to do that. I think that's Aussie in reference to what Tom had mentioned. Yeah, and the reason is that I had mentioned before. Starting to look good. Thank you, dude. KS says, I'm going to do a bunch of scroll saw boxes. I just have to get the motivation to pull it out of the box. Yeah, dude, just freaking do it. Grab it and freaking do it. If that's the whole thing. Tom, I see now. Fair enough. Tom says, yeah. Patrick, hi. Hey, Eloy, what's going on, Patrick? Hi, Dave. Dave's here. I don't see. I'm using. By the way, if you ever do lives, you can use. There's three methods. There's the events. Then there's three of them. Events, one other, and this one, which is camera. So I'm on camera mode, whatever. It's like a quick set, and I'm not knowing. I don't know if there's people there that I'm not reading. Is that Dave? Um, Portal Woodworks that you're talking about? Because I don't see Portal. Hey, what's going on, Dan? What's up, dude? Let's see. Manic River, Woodcraft, Chris, late night. What time zone you in? Well, this is Eastern U.S. So we're on the East Coast. And I'm in Miami. Oh, okay, okay, Katie. So I'm saying okay to KS. Um, I want to try scrolling some plexiglass, Lexan, but money for materials is not there right now. Um, I've got a sheet of plexi sitting back there. A neighbor just dropped it off, and I've got a project. I'm thinking of doing some lit up projects. Katie, hi Patrick. Oh, great. With this actual, it just blanked out on me. With this actual camera mode, you'll see it if you go into events or live, and then you'll see the options. Sometimes the chat refreshes itself, like it blanks out and then it comes back, and it just did that. So I have to wait whatever its rotation is to get it back so I can see what you guys are saying. So it just stopped right there when with the last thing I read. Let me cut this out so we can move forward. We're almost done. We've got the M to do. Katie, I came online to find out how to adjust the bobbin tension on my sewing machine and ended up here. That's hilarious. Ozzy. Hey, Eloy, I found a new place for hardwood lumber in Miami. It's called Beacon Hardwood in Medley. The owner, super cool. Oh, wow, dude. So they got all the. Do you ever go to Shell Lumber, Ozzy? Because here in Miami, so he's saying that because we all know that finding the exotic stuff or rare, you can't find it obviously at your Home Depot and this and that. So we do have a place called Shell Lumber. I'm wondering if Ozzy ever does Shell Lumber because they got some good stuff there. Here's my other O. So these two O's are going to stick together like that for the room. Let's see what Ozzy says. Atlantic River says, keeping out of trouble, Katie. Ozzy says, yes, I was there today. I've got to go and pick up some blanks for the lathe. Ozzy, I went there. We're going to be focusing on the M, by the way. I went there. It's been a while, but I went there. And so I asked the guy at the sawmill where they resaw and stuff on the table saw. And I asked him, do you have any scraps that, you don't need? Because I'm using them for all these things that people usually around here, they're using it for construction and whatnot. Staircases and, all that stuff and trim and this and that. And he says, sure, see what we have there. Grab whatever you want. I was like, oh, I felt like, whoa, cool. He even grabbed some chunks of walnut. Boy, let me see if I can. This is already cut, but this was a whole board. I've been using it up. So it was a board like 5.5, right? Like a six by, and it's actually thicker than it's like a 2x6 of walnut. And a huge chunk of let me see if I can find it. Look at this huge chunk of uh, oak was bigger. It's like a 2 by whatever, 2 by 8, and he hooked it up. And it had other pieces and all that. It was like, wow, dude. Oh, here's another piece of walnut. Look, live edge, bark. How cool is that? A little bit of burning going on, a little bit of burning. It was cut like that already, but you don't say no to free lumber when it's like that, right? So, how cool is that? Let me see. Um, I haven't bothered a soul, I swear. That's Katie in reference to Chris's inquiry. If she's been staying out of trouble. Ozzy says Beacon hardwood I think is much better. Oh wow. I'm gonna have to type it up. Do they have? I wonder if they have a good website. I'm gonna have to check it out. Well, that is nice, Eloy. Yeah, those are pretty cool pieces. They just gave it to me. I mean, I asked, right? I said, "Oh, you have any offcuts?" Because I know it's gonna go in the dumpster. I never thought to ask. Yeah, Katie, there is a lumber company near me. I am afraid to go there. Why? I'm just curious. Well, lumber yards are scary to begin with. Um, I'm curious as to why. Is it in a, iffy? Well, if you're close to it, well, you're gonna have to explain that, Katie. Oh, okay, right. Well, yeah, yeah. So I'm already broke. So that's the thing, though, right? So that's why I end up doing all the with pine, right? So we're dealing with rustic stuff as well. So, and I like it anyhow. To be honest with you, the only problem with pine is that it's very soft, you know. But so I try to offset in that fashion, right? Yeah, totally get it. Okay, I'm gonna begin to cut this M. And if you remember before, I explained that, well, the outside is what it is, not a problem, but this inside part, originally I went with the straight cut. See how there's that straight line? And I figured then later I could do this curve. Well, I was totally wrong. The idea is to do the curve and then cut the straight line. Because once you cut that straight line, this curve becomes almost invisible, particularly with my eyes. Let's start this. There's the yeah, we could deal with that. Let's get rid of. We've got a little fuzzies going on here. A little bit of fuzzies. We got to take care of in the back, but we could deal with that. So there's our G A M E and then room. What's going on, Rags? Ragtie joined us. Let me see. Tom, greenwood turning is always good to get into as well. Free wood everywhere. Let me mention that my thoughts on that, dude. I haven't tried that. I want to try that, but my whole thing is that you have to like bag it and put it to the side and wait forever. And I'm so impatient, but I'm gonna try that anyhow because it's like everywhere, right? Ragtie, we buy them a pizza walk in hand and say what? Okay, if I took in your cut off bin, we go home with tons of hardwood. Okay, something's conversation up there that I'm missing. But what's going on, Rags? Katie, no lave. Don't need another money pit. Sheesh. Ozzy, pizza and thumbs up. Ragtie, yep. KS says, at Katie, thumbs up. KS says, I have no desire for a lathe. The last time I turned anything, it was 49 years ago for shop class. I'm digging it, dude. To be honest with you, you guys see that? You see that barrel right over here on the side of the screen? I don't know if you guys can see that barrel. There's some WD-40, and there's that barrel over there. I'm turning little barrels in the on the lathe. It's a box. It's going to be a box with a lid that's inset, like beer barrel. Beer barrels would be. So that's the idea for that thing. But it's such a fun thing. It was given to me as a present. Um, Good night, Ozzy. Gotta gotta let me buy you a coffee at the Latin America one day. All right, dude. Have a good evening, dude. Katie Dawson. Dave, I would love to learn how to turn, but I want to learn how to weld too. It's endless, right? Well, that's the good thing about the maker spirit. Tom, depends what you're into, I guess. I got my lathe simply for when I couldn't afford the materials or tools for bigger projects. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I could keep busy with Greenwood and get it for free. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Turn a bunch of like blanks and chunks and this and that and just set it to the side, let it do its drying. Dave says, KF says, it's all a preference thing, what you are interested in. Yeah, totally. Katie, I got 2 trees laying in my yard now. Katie, Dave, I'm interested in all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's incredible. Me too. Right? Ragtie, just you, bro. KF, me too. Tom, interested in fleeting, constantly in what? Interest is fleeting, constantly changing. Yeah, that's another thing. One there's so much cool stuff that one hops from one thing to the. It's just incredible, right? Katie, Tom, I just want to know how to do things for myself. Yeah, totally agree with that. Ragtime, great show with Katie and Doc. Oh, Keith and Doc. See now, my eyes are so with Keith and Doc. Yeah, it was such a great show, Ragtime. It really was. He gave us a lot of cool information too. There was a lot of cool information that Keith Decent shared with us. Um, yeah, so I'm looking at a screen up here. Let me see if I can show you. So I've got you guys on the screen. I don't know if you can see that. So I've got you on the big screen. Give me a second here. Put a hat on. My doggy. So let me see. Oh, the screen, my refresh rate. Like I said, I'm using this. There's three settings that you could choose for live, and one of them is like camera. It says camera, so it's kind of like a quick live. I think they use it for when you're working, when you're gonna do like a cell phone sort of thing. So it's like quick and easy, and it blanks out, and then you have a blacked out screen. Let me see. Oh, it just popped back up. I just want to know how to do things for myself. Great show with Keith. I turned two lidded boxes 49 years ago in shop class to pass the class. Very cool. I've got one here. Let me see if I can. Actually, I got two with the same material. Um, this is Tiger Maple, and this is from Harju, Daniel Harju. And there's some nice, because it's this maple, it's got that really nice, I mean, it came out, look at that. See how it closes? Really cool. Um, this is a larger one. So these are great. I really dig these. Um, I still have some of that maple. Let me see if I can show it to you. I still got this piece of that maple. And I'm sure going to make another box out of it. But I'm thinking of doing something where, with a stand, some sort of fancy box with it. Hey, what's going on, Bobby? Dude, congratulations with you guys know Bobby Duke for sure. Bobby Duke crossed the million subscriber mark just like in the past few days. And like I left you a message on Instagram, I think it was, and I'm really stoked. I mentioned this to the guys before, but I'm really happy about the fact that you've exploded the way you have. Primarily, your focus has always been on the art, the craft, the exploring, the art side, which I really dig. Right, I fall in line with that concept. And you, so I think maybe I'm wrong, but before you, because you've exploded like, and it's freaking out of hand. Before you, it was always more to do with like consummate focus on the project in a construction type manner, and you brought in this art, this aspect of the art, but like going really into the, and you did it in that fashion. So it's very encouraging, right, to see that. So Bobby has exploded all over the place. Um, Let me see. So Katie, but I can best I can do towards the welding thing at the time is to try to learn braze aluminum with a propane torch. But that is a beginning. New skill to try. Absolutely. Bobby Dugard. Hey Eloy, I have those same Harbor Freight ear protectors. Hey dude, these are awesome. I'll tell you, you want to know one thing that's not awesome? Well, I don't want to. So I love Harbor Freight, right? I've got the Harbor Freight lathe, which a bunch of the makers, friends makers got together and got me. But I also got the chuck that goes into the drill chuck. Awesome. That this scroll saw, the bandsaw, it's fine. But the bandsaw blades keep freaking breaking on me for these for the bandsaw blades. I mean, I used it like a couple of full times and it freaking broke on me. And I had bought it like a week prior. Happened the same and the same. I'm gonna take back that blade and say, hey, come on, exchange it for me, please. Let's see what happens. Um, Tom, brazing is great fun, especially when you get things hot enough that the metal is sucked into the joint. Oddly satisfying feeling. I'm gonna sneeze because I got all this powder. Um, oh, excuse me. Bobby Dugard's nice. Ragtie nice. Hey Bobby, Tom. Americans are so lucky with their choices of wood and tools. My dog's hacking in the background. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Um, but it's like astronomical, dude. And with the focus on the art, right? And just that, as opposed to for the sake of tools, my dog's he's hacking for no reason. He always does that on lives. It's like that's his thing. And typewriting with little toenails. Yeah, dude, that's the whole thing. I like that balance, of showing. Yes, we have the tools in this, but just to focus on the art. That's super inspirational. Let me see. Congrats, says Katie. Ragtie. I have Harbor Freight tools over 15 years old. Yeah, I love the Harbor Freight tools. I've seen Bobby using the Harbor Freight. Uh, what do you call it? Bench sander, the belt sander one, the reddish wine color one, and I totally dig it. I have that one too. But I really work my tools like mad, and but not the case with the bandsaw. So the blade shouldn't break as much as it does, you know, and yet it does. So what are you gonna do? I got this key, this multi drill key at Harbor Freight too. You know. Okay, let me see. Where did you buy the blade at Harbor Freight? Um, it's like I put it in, I used it. The other day I was doing signs. This sort of sign that I've been doing now, this sort of sign, this sort of thing. I'm working on it and boom, busts. And I had purchased the blade like a week prior. And it's not like I'm going through massive thick material or whatever. And I check my settings. I make sure that all, and yet this is what happens, you know. So what are you gonna do? Let me see. I have Harbor Freight for over 15 years. Tom. Dave says, where did you buy the blade? Okay, I mentioned that. Tom, it looks like fun. Bobby Duke Arts, thank you, Katie. Bobby Duke Arts, so do I. Dave says, I have the Harbor Freight disc belt sander and 8-inch bent top drill press. Yeah, dude, they're bad to the bone. Sure, I love the big name brands and all that. Forget that. All these tools do their job, but the blade situation, I don't know what to tell you. I'm really frustrated with those blades for the bandsaw. Katie, Bobby, I love your imagination and skill set, but your kid like Joy, what? But you kid like Joy, you have just makes watching you so much. Oh, okay. So I think Katie's saying, I'm sorry, Katie, for butchering her. I think that the fun that he has in the builds, in the videos, makes it awesome. Bobby, just so you know, also, I'm doing, I think you might have heard it. Is this the pinless scroll saw? No. This one, see, that's another problem. So I've been doing, I don't know when you came in, but I've been doing so like the A, as opposed to drilling in the center so I can get into the center of the letter. I cut them in half so I can work into these little nooks. And then I'll just glue them back up. It's going to be a simple sign that I'll put up for sale. I'm going to do many of these little wall signs. This one's game room. So I'm doing that because these are pinned. So what ends up happening is that it's too small to work with, with these pinned blades. So I need to get that adapter to do that too. But to be honest with you, I'm perfectly content to frickin' cut these in half like this. Somebody was mentioning before about that, opening the hole, but I'm perfectly content doing like that, gluing it up, and then it's like, there's no difference, So I was gonna say that I'm making a trading cards, deck of cards, collectibles for the Mad Maker show. I don't know if you saw the art on Facebook, but so number one person we interviewed was, here's Vigo. Number one person we interviewed was Adam McMillan, and then we interviewed you. You were the second guest on the show. I think we had Matt Haas, and then so all those cards get like a baseball sort of a retro look. On the back, there's going to be stats and all that. So I'm going to reach out to all the people that that are coming out with this first one batch, so that I can get their stats and stuff, in the back. So we're doing that just to commemorate these things that this group that we are, part of, the maker community and the Mad Maker show in itself. Let me see what you guys. Dave says, buy bandsaw blades somewhere else. Might be a run of bad batch of blades. It's been a run of bad batch of blades for a long time, dude. So I think I am going to have to do that. I will tell you this, though. I'm going to go return the one that I purchased and say, hey, come on. If they're going to be pains in the butts because of that, I mean, they could see, don't they ask you for the phone number so they can put you on a mailing list, and they have all your like history of what you buy and that? So it's like, it shouldn't be a problem. But you know how it is, especially in big cities and all that. Oh, well, no, this, and that. And so who knows? Katie, Eloy, Pegasus does make blades for pin saws. Yeah, there is the little piece that goes up on the whatever. There's a piece that attaches and all that you can modify. I need to get that. But you're saying that, well, I don't know. I think that we're talking the same thing. Bobby says mine uses pin blades as well. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the whole thing. I'd love to put the because Miter Mike sent me this mask, which I think you have a mask like this. You guys own this mask? He sent me this mask, and he sent me pinless spiral blades, a bunch of them. I just need to get that piece that attaches to the saw so I could work with that. But for now, I'm doing, what you see here. Um, oh, there's Tom. Tom was the one that we were talking about. I managed to buy some really nice pinless blades that are too thick to fit in my scroll saw adapter. Yeah. That sucks. My scroll saw is supposed to use pin or pinless blades, but I don't know for sure. It's still in the box. RZ mask. Yeah. Miter Mike sent me the RZ. He sent me his extra RZ. How cool is that? And blades. But I can't use them until I buy that adapter. So yeah, guys. So to wrap it up, let me show you guys. We've got our game over sign, or game room sign. At least the letters cut out. And this will be a little sign, and we'll put it up for sale. I'll paint these white more than likely, and this part probably black, and the background will be black, I think. We'll add some hardware, hanging hardware in the back, sawtooth, and we'll put that up for sale. And we'll do many different ones of these. So that's the idea, right? And one last thing before we boogie, I do want to mention, I got to make something. I have some things that I could put up, but I've got to make something for Makers Make It Matter. That's Stephen Twidell's charity, and they're going to auction off pieces for kids in need, kids with special needs. So we're going to be auctioning off those things. So makers put up their pieces. They go up for what you call auction, and so that's how they collect funds, and then they help kids out. So that's Makers Make It Matter. On Temple Boys, TempleBoyTourney.com is is all the information and stuff. So I'm signed up for that, and I'm debating whether to make a piece and just film it or video it, or put up a piece that's already been done. So I got to figure all that jazz out. But I didn't want to do this evening, and I said, figure go live and do that. So, all right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Any final words? Final goodbyes? Nice hangout, Eloy. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate it. Ragtime, my pleasure. Love you all. Awesome. Dave, bye everyone. Have a great one. Cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been my pleasure. Peace out. Thank you, Bobby. All right. So till next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your week and rock and roll. So I'm not going to just press stop. I have to go into the office. Thank you. Oh, you the man. You're rocking and rolling. We're going to have to do I'd like to do some sort of what's happened to Bobby Duke since last week. That would be cool to do. I'm going to have to go around and shut this off. But you guys, awesome. Thank you for hanging.